Say. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another session of Ask Zak with myself, Zak, and my trusted colleague, Sean.
Good evening and welcome back, and it's about to be a great info day again.
Now, of course, tonight we're talking about Feedlot. Now, there is quite a wide range of products involved, but let's start at the start. Let's say you are rearing your own calves for the feedlot. It is very important that you give that calf the best possible start. Now, this principle that I share is not only for you as a feedlot farmer, but for you as a cattle farmer as well. Same principles apply. But first of all, of course, when that cow is lactating, we'd like to give her production meal. Now, the production meal, what it does, it's extra nutrients for that body to be able to take care of itself. We don't want her to lose condition so that she's not ready to carry the calf. And it, of course, is going to help her with her milk production, which is crucial for that calf to grow. So when the calf arrives, she's ready, and now that calf is there. We, in the very early year, from 2 weeks of age, we introduce something we call a creep feed. Now, our creep feed is full calf meal or full calf pellets. Now, that is crucial for that young animal, because the full calf, what it does, of course, it starts developing the rumen. As soon as that calf starts eating of it, the rumen starts developing. And of course, that is very important for when we're weaning, because when we wean, we don't want to shock that animal. We want that animal to be ready when weaned. And of course, it's very high nutrients. So what it does, of course, it's going to take a little bit of stress off that cow. So we are supporting the cow and the calf and making sure both animals are ready for their next production cycle. But let's say, Sean, we're buying in calves, or our calves are not on the correct weight. We forgot to give them full calf pellets. What can we do? How can we get those animals onto good leadership?
Well, Zak, very important. Like Zak already said, production meal, production meal, production meal. That is one of the best products that we have on the market. Production meal you can use to background your cattle, your weaners, before they go into your feedlot, or you can actually give them a little bit of a heads up to keep them going so that they can reach the right weight. So always remember, when you receive your animals, when you've bought in your animals, weigh your animals so you have an idea of where you're going and where you're coming from. And then giving them production meal will give you that a little bit of a push to make sure that they reach the right weight for your own decisions, specifically if you're into feedlotting.
And of course, Sean mentioned something very important. Weigh your animals. You don't want to take in a calf into a feedlot under 200 kilograms. You're wasting your time and your money. So stay, as he said, stay on the production meal until you hit that target. Now, when we move our cattle over to the feedlot, there is something that we need to take care of, and that's their health. We're putting them in a confined space, and of course, close proximity with a lot of animals. So it's very important that you have your clostridial vaccine in place. Now, clostridial, just to mention one thing, can be our lung infections, pneumonia that it can prevent, because when they're in close proximity, a disease can jump easily. And of course, our Clostridium loves feedlot setup. So make sure you do your clostridial vaccine to protect your animals. You don't want a sudden outbreak of disease when you get into when your animals are in the feedlot, because of course a sick animal is not a productive animal, and that's the last place where you want to be as farmer. Now, Sean, when our animals are in the feedlot, what can we do? What do we feed them to get them so that we're ready for market?
Well, here at Zak, as you know also, we have something called a cattle finisher. It comes in meal and in pellets. So when you have your feedlot, when you have your cattle in your feedlot, now you can start giving them the cattle finisher. The cattle finisher is made for them to outgrow in a shorter period of time if you use it properly. And always remember, when you're giving your cattle finisher, you need to have good quality hay and good quality water given to them at all times. And very important also, do not ration your cattle finisher. You give it as ad lib. So you give it all the time. They need to have as much as they want when they want. But always remember, very key, good quality hay and good quality water next to it. And one other point to add on to that is that for those who are getting cheaper raw materials like maize, we have a product called the Fat Mix 30. You can use that and mix it with maize to make your own cattle finisher. That also works out pretty much well, but always remember, get good quality mixing equipment, because if you don't mix it properly, you're going to face situations where some of your cattle are going to eat one point and some of your cattle are going to eat the concentrate. So very important, always make sure you mix your feed properly.
So there's another thing that I just want to mention is when you select a site for a feedlot, try and have it somewhere at a little bit of an incline. Remember, we're lucky, we're in the winter now, we don't have a lot of rain, but when summer comes and you've got a lot of animals there, you don't want to be knee deep in mud. So if you put it on a slight incline, we're not talking about on the side of a mountain or side of a big hill, we just want a slight decline there so that the water can run away and drain itself. Otherwise, you're going to create, of course, a breeding ground for diseases. So be very aware of it where you put your feedlots. And of course, very important what Sean said, we walk into some feedlots and you get that sour fermenting smell. Now that's usually when the people do not clean their troughs. We talk about cleaning a lot when we talk about our broilers and our layers, but with your feedlot, the same rule applies. You don't want to throw new feed on top of old feed. You want them to finish it off and then you put out the new feed. Otherwise, you're going to create a layer that can ferment because it stands out at night, the dew sits on it and you get some moisture, and that's not a good place to be. Of course, your water troughs, same thing. Sometimes we pick up that the water troughs, when the farmers mix it, let's say with kale food, then you get some of that kale food inside the water troughs, and that of course sits there and ferments. You want the water quality to be good enough for you to drink. So be very sure you keep that area as clean as possible. So be very aware of it. Now, we do give a lot of information, and there's wonderful products. The production meal is a very good all-rounder to help out any farmer. But if you need more information, we've got a whole technical team. Now, the technical team are busy this Thursday. Sean, where are the guys busy this week?
Well, this Thursday we're at Petit, so come in and join us. We're going to be talking lots and lots about animals. Just make sure to call in and confirm your seat so that we don't miss out. We don't miss out on the day. So very important. Make the call and then find out, and they will book a seat for you so you don't run out of space.
Of course, Sean is not our only technical advisor. We've got a whole team there. He can't service the whole Mpumalanga, Gauteng and Limpopo. So get in contact with your nearest Alzu one-stop shop. Get in contact with your nearest technical advisor, because we do give on-site, on-farm advice, and that's a free service that we give to our farmers. Remember, no farm is the same. So you might be struggling with a small thing that we know how to solve, and at the end of the day, you'll be better off for that, and of course profitable, because that's where we all want to be. So log into our Facebook page, follow us there, as you can see now here on the video, or get in contact. Of course, we are there to help you. So from my side, till next week, same time, same place, have a good evening.
Great.